Guys, Marsinged here, bringing you a Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we're going to be taking a proper look at the INT LR Rose with his temporary buff. He is a great addition to this new STR Rose team, because as we've discussed in the previous videos already, right, Goku came sort of pre-packaged with an already great team, right, with the 10-year fusions, the 7-year LRs, whereas Rose having super bosses, I think, is the only thing I don't like about the unit. Super bosses needs a lot of buffs, not just like from the rest of this celebration, but hopefully as the year continues, like if we don't get any more super bosses buffs, then the team is in danger of aging fairly quickly, even though Rose, like himself, will obviously be very good. And of course, one of the reasons for that as well is that this is a temporary buff, like the Tech Vegito Blue, right? So when the Global Dokkan campaign ends, this guy won't be runnable on the team anymore, which means the team is losing a viable character, right? So hopefully super bosses will continue to get some buffs throughout the rest of the year, but we'll take a look at this guy. Obviously, his super attack effects aren't affected at all by the temporary buff. He just greatly raises attack and defense on the 18 key, and then greatly raises defense for 1 turn on the 12 key with a chance to stun. And then his passive, key +3, attack and defense 160. For every key when attacking, attack and defense 8% up to 160. So if you get like the full 24 key, you can have this big buff. When attacking with 18 or more key, you get 3 more key. And then when attacking with 22 or more key, you get a guaranteed additional super. If you deliver a finishing blow with this guy, he gets key +6 and a high chance to crit. When HP is 66% or more at the start of the turn, you recover 6% HP, and then after receiving an attack, he recovers 6% HP at the end of the turn. Now, just like the Vegito, the temporary buff isn't shown in his kit here, but from the post that we saw from like when all the data download happened and everything, he gets 300% extra attack, but 800% extra defense. He also has guaranteed crits. So that's pretty good. It means the finishing blow, like whilst having the extra 6 key is really nice, it kind of makes it so that that's not as much of an issue like to worry about, because obviously he's going to be doing guaranteed crits anyway. And we can see here we start out the turn at 961 KD, so we've almost at 1,000,000 defense just straight off the bat. And then obviously once we've picked up our key and everything, when attacking we're going to get 160% extra defense, as well as the greatly raise effect like from his super. So he's going to have very, very high raw defense post supering. The only downside, of course, is that he doesn't have like guard or damage reduction or anything like that. So even if he's getting up to like, you know, 4 million defense, 5 million defense, some of these bosses now, like we know the Jirans hit for like 6 million. Some of these new bosses for the end of the GDC events are hitting for like 7 million and stuff, right? So that raw defense alone isn't going to be enough for some of these bosses, but we'll see how we get on with this guy here. So what's our first attack of the turn going to be? Full 24 key, 55 million attack. Obviously we've got the support from the AGL Rose on the rotation, because we're getting all of our links from the STR one anyway. There's the crit, then we get the additional 32 million. So that just goes ahead and takes him out. I don't know if this seriously serious Trunks event actually is even going to be able to last like long enough for us to actually get the... Although I say that, this is not a great rotation. Considering we've got our couple of extra free-to-play characters here. Well, actually, yeah, you don't have big bad bosses, so let's put you at the end. Although, of course, we don't have any physical orbs, so we can't get guard for the physical clone. So we might actually just be dead here. Because it's okay, that's one of those things you can kind of like throw a couple of the clones on the team, but they're obviously stronger with the like full clone team, right? The more clone allies there are, the more of a buff they get. They also, I always have to keep track. Actually, I need to remember as well, you can't just throw the clones on like any team, because they also get a buff when the team has one of each extreme type on the team. But like we don't have an extreme tech unit on this team, so the clone's actually not going to be anywhere near as good as they are on their proper setup. And in fact, this physical clone might be about to get absolutely destroyed here. But yeah, Trunks supering both of his attacks at the STR Rose is good for us, because obviously we just eat all of that nicely. But yeah, the clone not going to be as good here and not going to have guard. We get the dodge though. Mine is built for full dodge. Let's go. And he still took double-digit damage. I mean, I'll take that. There was me getting worried. Like I said, that's the clones that, like, not even at his optimal setup. He doesn't have the... We didn't get a physical orb. We don't have an extreme unit of each typing on the team. And he still tanks the STR Trunks here for double-digit damage. So, that's pretty good. I will take that. Alright, so... There's a Masu Goku getting some crits in there. Obviously, he's a very good support for the team. Once we start getting the ability to use the actives as well for these different Gokus, we're going to have all the different Goku Blacks. We're going to have even more support for this guy. So we've got every single Link active on this turn now. Well, you don't have Super Saiyan. I actually didn't even realise that. But obviously these guys do. So that's good. So we'll grab that. Get the 3 key for you, and then make sure the int one here over here has the scouter. Yeah, because we don't have gets the int orbs, because we don't have an extreme unit of each typing. That's what gives the int clone the scouter, which obviously, as you can see, we do not have active on this turn. So that is something that we have to be careful of, like going forward. But yeah, for 34 million for Rose. I mean, these two together being 2 LR Rosés, so not only are they sharing most of their links anyway, but obviously Fierce Battle, they've both got legendary power. The combo of these two together can be pretty ridiculous. So we're going to see an interesting turn next time around, because we're going to be able to use one of the Rosés' active skills on this next turn to get the support. Damn, that's 62 million on this turn. 62 million, that extra little bit of attack from the Super Saiyan coming in clutch, and then 37 additional. Like, bro, this guy hits like an absolute truck, and then his defense, like I say, his defense post Super is going to be easily like 4 mil, which means he's going to be tanking basically all normals in the game. The only problem will be the biggest bosses and their super attacks, but you know, there's enough setups, like having if we had the right units on the team, obviously, having the int clone with the scouter, having STR Rose being that absolute slot 1, like wall, this can all work out like really, really well. So we'll go ahead and use the active skill for Rose, so that gives everybody a buff. Hopefully we don't kill before we get the int Rose back again, because that is an absolute possibility. So we'll do that, make sure we get the physical orbs for the clone here so he gets guard, and then we should be looking all good. The support from AGL Rose, the support from the STR Rose active skill. Like, it's just crazy how much like support that the Rose gives to the rest of the team without you kind of even realising it, because the STR Rose active skill, once you use it, you get that support for 4 turns. Then on the next turn, you use the other one support, so then they're both active at the same time as well. And it just makes everybody on the team hit so ridiculously hard. Like I say, we might not... Actually, I think we might be okay here. Yeah, we didn't get an additional super for you, so that's good. Because, yeah, everyone's going to hit so hard on the team. The big problem with the int Rose LR is that he gets basically all of his stats when attacking, so we can't put him in slot 1. So if we get on to the next turn and Trunks was almost dead, like, we basically just wouldn't be able to get to see in Rose attack, because he will just get absolutely destroyed in slot 1. He gets so much defense when he super attacks. 160% as part of his passive, like a 50% raise from his first super, then a 30% raise from the additional. Like, his post super defense is so crazy compared to his pre super defense. So yeah, you can't put him in slot 1 against these tougher bosses. Like, maybe on turn 1, if you're doing an event that is a bit weaker, that builds up, you could kind of get away with him being in slot 1 if you started off with like a bad rotation or something. But yeah, for the most part, you're not really going to be able to use in Rose as a slot 1 unit, which is fine, because his whole, you know, with the links and everything, he's just designed perfectly to sit next to STR Rose and have that massive buff. So, with only one of the Goku Black, the STR Rose active skills active, we're starting off at 1.2 million defense start of turn. So then if we go ahead and use the other Rose active, and this is my one, so hopefully my one won't kill Trunks. That puts us to 1.45, and then he gets 160% extra on super. So yeah, he's easily clearing, like by the time he's done his super attacks, he's clearing like 5 million on this turn, like quite easily. I almost don't want to get the full 24 key for you, but kind of feels like we should. We'll do that. And of course, we didn't even get to talk about the fact that he has the rage mode, can be activated when HP is 66% or less starting from the 6th turn. The only problem with that has always been the fact that it's turn 6 and it's an HP restriction. So it's like you get to turn 6 and you've got too much HP, the next time you're going to get a chance to use it is going to be turn 8. By that point you've potentially won like the fight already, which is a bit annoying because obviously the rage mode can be super useful, especially in difficult content, because those kind of things like a giant ape transformation or rage mode can be used to cancel out like the enemy special abilities, because it's not just super attacks, it's things like AoEs and heals, like if we're talking about the new hardest event like Rose and Zamasu. The great ape or fury mode or frenzy, whatever, eats all of that for no damage, and then when the next turn starts, jeez, that's 73 million. Then when the next turn starts, they can't do any of those abilities again. So there's no AoE, no Zamasu heal. But damn, 73 million into a 43 million additional super there. And of course, we're getting guaranteed crits like every single time. His defense is like over 5 million at this point, which means even some of the harder hitting bosses, he would live their supers, even if he did take some damage. Like, he would potentially still survive, which is absolutely crazy. Damn, Zamasu Goku. He hits relatively hard, considering he's a free-to-play unit. Like, his glow-up obviously has been absolutely insane, but unfortunately not quite enough damage there to finish off Trunks. He survives with the tiniest sliver of health. And of course, it's going to super... We might actually die to this, because I think Trunks is like fully built up at this point. That'd be an unfortunate end. Oh, never mind. Sorry, STR Zamasu Goku. I was unfamiliar with your game. Just casually eats that for double-digit damage. Okay. And then bear in mind, the friend Rose is starting off at 1 million defense, and he has guard and 60% damage reduction. So... And of course, gets 200% defense when he gets hit. Is it 200 or 180? I can't remember actually for the new units. But yeah, so he gets hit and immediately jumps up to having almost 3 million defense, whilst having 60% damage reduction and guard. So... yeah, Trunks can try as he might double super in slot 1, and then we just eat those, and then 65 million with support and the double Goku Black active skill buffs. Like, that's why this team is so crazy. Like, STR Rose, I think, is the best unit in the game. Maybe I should do a tier list at some point. I haven't done a tier list for a while. Like I say, I've said before when I make them, it's not a huge thing for me. Like, I'm not one of these people that keeps a spreadsheet and every time new units come out, I like move them up and down. I do kind of go on vibes of like how I've been feeling playing the game in the last however long since I made the previous tier list. And then I just always look at my previous one and then kind of make some adjustments based on how the game has been going for me recently, because I base all of mine on my personal experience with stuff, as you guys know. But I probably would put Rose at number 1. I definitely like them more than the Goku and the Vegeta unit, but obviously let me know what you guys think down below. But INT Rose, what an absolute monster. It's going to be a real shame when the temporary buff for him goes away, and like I say, hopefully this team gets enough buffs during the celebration that it's still going to be a good enough team once his thing goes away. I guess the big thing is there's a lot of units with the name Rose on the team, right? We've got the INT LR, we've got the AGL with the Super Easy A, we've also got the physical Dokkan Fest one, and it does become difficult to run all of them because they all have the same name. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of INT Rose and his temporary buff down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.